Hello everyone. So we are going to see frequency illusion, the power of frequency illusion in brand marketing. So to put it very simple, frequency illusion is something that you have recently noticed suddenly seems to appear everywhere. So this is a kind of a paradox, spotlight effect paradox, and it is very real. And many brilliant marketers are using it for their brand to create the solution. Okay, so how there are three fundamental things that they are doing to make this happen. One is that they know that why is this what's required at first place. It is required to break through the noise. I mean, we are getting bombarded with a lot of brands in our day-to-day life, right? And still some brands manage to break the noise and stay on top of the customer's mind when they think about a solution or a thing that the brand stands for. And next thing is that you need to know how we can do this, and how lies in driving the brand recall and trust. So once you drive the brand recall from your consumer's mind, it becomes so much easier to make it as a purposeful or a conscious choice for your customers to choose your brand. They think they are doing it in a very, they are doing it because they know what they are doing. But that's the kind of impact that this creates. And finally, where are we trying to put this? And it's not nothing else than having a share of your consumer's mind. It's called owning a mind share. Okay, so let's take some examples, like more than examples. How are we going to put it into our campaigns? First, the mere exposure effect. So mere exposure effects simply means that with more familiarity, more trust and preferences come. So put it simple, familiarity builds trust. Okay, the more and more your customers know that they are familiar with your brands, the more trust they are putting into your brand. It's as that simple. So utilize omnipresent multi-channel strategy, like for example retargeting ads, leveraging native advertising, uh, basically simply to create a very consistent brand presence across search, social, video and email marketing. And use content drip strategy. Instead of one big push, release a smaller touch points, right? So if you notice Tesla, they are doing it very cleverly. So Tesla do not do a direct message advertising, but they constantly remind in the tech news, social media discourse and all. And if you want me to explain an example for omni-channel strategy, you can take iPhone even. So think about Apple's product launch strategy. Before even an iPhone is released, news outlet leaks information, tech influencers review prototypes. Apple social media starts teasing features, paid ads, PR promotion, and product launches. Yeah, so being omnipresent, applying the omnipresent channel, multi-channel strategy is key, and then having a content drip strategy is also very important. Now coming to confirmation bias simply is a reinforcing consumers' belief to increase their conversion. So we need to make sure that their beliefs are reinforced, right? People seek information that supports what they already believe. Okay, so it's not to create a trust. You have already done that in the first place. Now it is time to reinforce the trust. Once a consumer is inclined to believe your brand is best, they will filter out the competing information by themselves and look for proof that reinforces their belief. Like Nike's just do it strategy. If someone already believes that Nike represents high performance, motivation and winning, they will only focus on content that reinforces that belief. Right? Nike doesn't sell sewers, that it sells a mindset that people feel like winners. That what's Nike essentially do. Every time they see an athlete endorsing Nike, their beliefs gets even more stronger. So it gets a preponderance effect onto their mind. So how can we apply this confirmation bias in your consumer's mindset? You can use personalized marketing and AI-driven content. So you can use a dynamic content which is very personalized, that aligns with your consumer's behavior. For instance, take the example of Amazon. Amazon's consumers who bought this also, there is a section for that, which actually reinforces that purchase intent. Um, Maybe they have already searched they have made already searched for an iPhone case, and when they are seeing consumers who already bought an iPhone have also bought this, then that reinforces the trust. Okay, so leveraging, second is that leveraging influencers endorsements to validate pre-existing beliefs. Um, so I mean, you can identify micro influencers who align with your audience's workflow. Okay, what that means is that to say in a simple sense, you can like take an example of Glossier. Glossier just didn't market a makeup product. They built a cult-like community where the fans of Glossier believe they are a part of an insider beauty movement, right? It's a subconsciously triggering that they are pride in where they belong to. That's what we call as leveraging influencer endorsement. Then reinforce a positive review and user content. Showcase testimonials and case studies at multiple touch points, because depending upon the stage of the awareness that your consumers are in. If they are going, if they are traveling from problem unaware to problem aware to solution unaware to solution aware, product aware to most aware, figure out the most appropriate content that we can show to them at each of these phases, right? For instance, if you take an example of Airbnb, they host reviews front and center because travelers feel safer before booking when they see validation from others, because each and every place that they are trying to book news feels very new for them, and if they are not comfortable in that if they are not feed enough beliefs or trust in where they are trying to book, then definitely they will be very hesitant to book it, right? So they are showing reviews from the people who have already stayed over there. This is a form of to see validation from others, right? So third thing is that availability heuristics. Availability heuristics is nothing but the brand that comes to your brand should be the first brand that comes to the mind, which actually leads to a winning campaign, right? People usually judge how important something is based on how easily they can recall it, right? If your brand, I mean, there could be tens of hundreds of other brands which is superior or premium than your brand. If your brand is staying on top of the mind when a consumer has a need, then they will assume it's the best option. If you take an example of Coca-Cola, uh, despite Pepsi winning most of the test, Coca-Cola's branding, ads, partnership make it a feel brand. People they think that they have a crave for soda, right? So this mental availability creates an illusion of being the best choice, even if the competitor performs better in blind test, right? You might have seen some videos in where uh, a blind test shows that some of the consumers think Pepsi is best, but in reality, if they are unfolded, they choose Coca-Cola. Why? It's simply because that their brand is what comes to their mind first. Right? So how can we apply it onto digital marketing? It's by owning the top of the search position. Invest Allocate a separate budget for SEO and Google Ads for high intent keywords. If someone searches for, let's say, if you are selling a CRM software, you can try on the superlative kind of words like best CRM software, top CRM software, the most loved CRM software. Salesforce actually doing that very best. They ensures that they appear first for all these kind of words. You can make a quick check on that also. And dominant retargeting and programmatic ads, consumers need to see a brand at least 5 to 7 times, right? Before it sticks to their mind. So use smarter programmatic advertising to appear in key moments of decision making. And finally, strategic brand partnership is also essential. If you take Spotify bundles free trials with premium subscriptions like Uber, Starbucks, Google Assistant. So this makes Spotify the first brand associated with streaming whenever it comes to our mind. Okay, so that's what availability heuristics is about. Finally, the social proof, right? Social proof simply means that people follow what others are doing. Humans are basically hardwired to follow the crowd. If people see others engaging with your brand, they instinctively assume that it's the right choice, and it's your job as a brand marketer to do that. And if you take an example, Apple Store launches have a massive lines. Do you know why? Apple could allow pre-orders, but they intentionally create that scarcity and media-worthy cues to make it like seem like an everyone wants an iPhone. And so yeah, so that's what we call as social proof. And if you, and there are some of the ways that you can apply social proof is that user generated strategy, run campaigns that encourages customers to post about your brand. If you take Starbucks, that they have run a campaign called Red Cup Contest, generated thousands of free brand mentions everywhere around the holiday season. Then leveraging review aggregators and case studies. One of the finest example is that Amazon displays has one bestsellers tags to create instant credibility, because users have to scroll through all of the hundred of products, and if you suddenly notice hash one bestseller, that will be the product that you will take a look at for sure. And it actually gives you that sudden push of trust to buy the product. Then finally, influencers marketing with authenticity, partners with influencers who genuinely use your product to make adoption feel um, unnatural, right? So a very good example is that Gymshark grew in $1 billion company brand by making fitness influencers as its core marketing channel, right? They have not hired any paid actors or uh, any flashy CGIs or something. So they just simply brief it. I mean, use the fitness influencers as its core of their marketing channel. So I think it would be it have been useful for you. So these four things are very crucial when it comes to creating that frequency illusion effect. It's all about pushing messages to creating behavioral triggers, short-term campaigns to continuous brand reinforcement, and finally to from the mass media to hyper-personalized cross-channel frequency. So yeah, I think it would have been very useful for you. And if you have any questions, please do post a comment. See you in the next video. Thank you.